Welcome to The Explainer. So if you're completely tired of just drowning in PDFs, endless lecture recordings, and those towering stacks of research papers, honestly, you are in exactly the right place. Today, our main goal is to completely demystify a tool that's fundamentally shifting how we process information. We're talking about Google's NotebookLM. We're going to show you exactly how to end information overload once and for all by turning this AI from what seems like a neat party trick into your absolute ultimate research weapon.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to imagine a world where your AI literally never hallucinates. Imagine it digesting your most complex, jargon-heavy research flawlessly. And then, get this, at the click of a button, it transforms all of that dense material into an engaging, personalized audio discussion. I know, it sounds like science fiction, right? But it's actually happening right now.
Now, to really understand why this is such a huge deal, we kind of have to compare it to what you're probably used to. Most people treat standard AI like that one know-it-all friend who, occasionally lies to you. You ask it to summarize a PDF, it pulls in random data from the open internet, and suddenly you get a generic, sometimes totally hallucinated summary. But NotebookLM? It's completely different. Think of it as a brilliant assistant that is locked in a room with absolutely nothing but your specific documents. It gives you hyper-specific insights with exact, clickable citations so you know precisely where every single piece of information came from.
Section 1. The Source-Grounded Solution, Zero Hallucinations. Let's briefly look at the underlying architecture making this level of trust possible.
So, the technical term for this is closed RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. But in simple terms, it basically means the AI is source-grounded. It's strictly restricted to generating answers exclusively from the files, links, or media that you specifically upload. There's no outside internet training data sneaking into your answers here. Zero hallucinations. It only knows exactly what you feed it and nothing else.
And man, you can feed it a lot. 500,000. That is the massive word limit for just a single uploaded source document. To put that into perspective, you aren't just uploading a tiny 2-page brief here. You can upload entire textbooks, massive quarterly earnings reports, or even full hour-long YouTube video transcripts. And the crazy part, you can add up to 50 of these massive sources into a single project.
This really brilliantly illustrates the power of that capacity. Stephen Johnson, the director of NotebookLM, used what's known as the interesting bits prompt on 500,000 words of super dense NASA transcripts. He just asked the AI, hey, what are the most surprising or interesting pieces of information in these sources? And it literally did 10 hours of manual reading in 20 seconds. Traditional search tools, they just find keywords. But this tool, it surfaces the exact wow factor and those deep insights you'd honestly only catch if you sat down and read everything twice.
Section 2. Audio and Video Overviews, Dynamic Multimedia. Let's shift gears because reading text on a screen is really only half the magic. Let's look at the feature that made this tool go absolutely viral.
NotebookLM takes your incredibly dense text and literally transforms it into dynamic multimedia. You can generate deep dive conversations, multilingual audio podcasts in Spanish or Japanese, or even a debate format where the hosts actively argue contrasting viewpoints from your sources. But honestly, the most fascinating one is the quiz show format. You can actually instruct the AI host to intentionally get answers wrong so that the other host has to jump in and correct them. This brilliantly exploits a psychological principle called active recall, which makes those corrections stick in your memory way faster than just reading a dry fact.
The output is so incredibly lifelike. You get these two AI hosts bantering, laughing, summarizing your material, and making these uncanny, creative connections between your topics. They'll say things like, oh wow, so the data from the 2023 report actually perfectly aligns with the methodology in Chapter 4. It really brings that kind of enthusiastic energy. And the absolute best part? You can download these audio files and listen to your own personalized study guide right during your morning commute.
Section 3. Your ultimate thought partner. Workflows in 60 seconds. Now that we know what it can do, how do we actually use it?
Let's move Chig and see how this builds a complete workflow in just 60 seconds. It is incredibly fast. Step 1, you just create a new notebook. Step 2, upload your sources. Drop in your PDFs, paste a YouTube link, or add a Google Doc. Step 3, paste a targeted prompt. And that's it. But here is the real secret. Generic prompts are going to yield generic answers. You need to tell the AI exactly how to think.
Now, notice how telling the AI exactly who to be drastically changes its output. These right here are official Google persona prompts. So if you tell it to act as a middle school teacher, it will break down complex quantum physics into 7th grade vocabulary using totally relatable analogies. Tell it to be a lead product manager, and it's going to ruthlessly scan your meeting notes looking for actionable insights and blind spots. Or tell it to be a scientific researcher, and it will skip all the basic definitions and jump straight into critiquing the sample size and methodology of your uploaded academic papers.
And you can push it even further with advanced prompts. Ask it for the 5 essential questions to extract a pedagogically sound study structure, or ask it to find contradictions to surface exact disagreements between 2 authors in your documents, complete with direct citations. You can even do a source-grounded gap analysis. Basically, you tell the AI how you tried to solve a coding problem, and it will compare your failed attempt against the documentation you uploaded to tell you exactly which step you missed. This is what turns a simple chatbot into a devastatingly effective research weapon.
But hey, if you're a visual learner, you definitely aren't left behind. With just a single click in the Studio panel, NotebookLM can take your sources and generate interactive mind maps to show you exactly how concepts cluster together. It can generate infographics, interactive flashcards, quizzes, or even a full slide deck that you can export directly to PowerPoint. It literally caters to every single type of learning style.
Section 4. Boundaries of the box, looking at current limitations. Of course, no tool is totally perfect, right? So to use this effectively, we really need to understand exactly where it falls short. So, the crucial point is understanding these limitations. While its biggest strengths are those flawless citations and that massive context window, you are currently capped at 50 sources per notebook. Also, those notebooks are completely isolated from each other, so you can't query your history notes and your science notes at the exact same time. And finally, while it tells you precisely where a quote came from, it won't automatically format that citation into perfect APA, MLA, or Chicago style for your bibliography. So if you're doing a massive literature review of, say, 200 papers, you're definitely going to hit a wall and might need to look at enterprise tools instead.
Section 5. Start using NotebookLM today, covering pricing and tiers. For the vast majority of focused learners, students, and professionals out there, this tool is ready to completely change how you work right now. Let's talk about how you can start using it today and what it's going to cost you.
Honestly, it's the best number in the world, $0. NotebookLM has a remarkably generous standard free tier. At absolutely no cost, you can create up to 100 notebooks, upload 50 sources per notebook, and generate 3 audio or video overviews every single day. Seriously, no credit card required.
Now, if you do find yourself hitting those limits, there are some very reasonable upgrades. The Plus tier is just $7.99 a month for light power users. But the real sweet spot for heavy researchers is the Pro tier at $19.99 a month. That gives you 20 overviews a day and massive limits. And a great little tip, if you're a US student with a .edu email address, you can actually get that Pro tier for just $9.99 a month.
So, we've covered the paradigm shift, the prompts, the overviews, and the pricing. Now it's your turn. Don't just bookmark this explainer and move on. Stop collecting prompts and start putting this amazing technology to work on your biggest problem this week. Which 10 hours of dense, overwhelming reading are you going to upload and turn into a personalized 10-minute audio overview today? The tool is waiting for you. Get out there and go build something amazing.